Greetings, family. Peace, love, and in these troubled times, focus thinking. Peace, love, and focus thinking. This vlog goes out to Terence Crutcher. May he rest in peace. He is another lost brother who lost his life and was murdered at the hands of race soldiers, otherwise known as the law enforcement people who carry badges and wear blue uniforms. Let's get to the story. Sister of Terence Crutcher killed by police says he was unarmed. The sister of Terence Crutcher shot and killed by a Tulsa police officer when he reached into an SUV stalled in the street said on Saturday that she does not believe her brother was armed. Terence Crutcher, 40 years old, died at the hospital where he was taken after he was shot by the officer at around 8 p.m. Friday, police said. Quote, "One fact I do know is that my brother was unarmed," unquote, Terence Crutcher's twin sister Tiffany Crutcher told a news conference Saturday. Quote, "I'm just devastated," unquote. Mackenzie declined to say what Saturday whether a weapon was found and said the items that were recovered will not be revealed until a news conference Monday by Police Chief Chuck Gordon. An attorney for the Crutcher family, Demario Solomon Simmons, called on Saturday for police to release any video of the shooting. Police spokeswoman Jean Mackenzie said she believes the officers' dash cameras might have captured video of the shooting. Tulsa police officers don't have body cameras, although they were selected to receive a nearly $600,000 cash match grant for them in 2015. Crutcher's twin sister Tiffany told the Daily News her brother had just begun studying music appreciation at Tulsa Community College and had just left class when his car broke down. Crutcher's car had been in the shop recently and was having some problems, she told the news. Solomon Simmons told reporters that Crutcher was in the area because his car stalled and officers saw him while on an unrelated call and approached. Quote, "From that point, I do not know what occurred. We have no idea, and that's what is so difficult for us and the family," unquote, Solomon Simmons said. Quote, "That's our job, to try to get answers for this family and their mourning," unquote. Mackenzie said an officer responding to another call saw the vehicle in the middle of the road and called for backup, and the two officers were walking toward the SUV when Crutcher approached them from the side of the road. Quote, "He refused to follow commands given by the officers," unquote, Mackenzie said. Quote, "They continued to talk to him. He continued not to listen and follow any commands," unquote. And family, this is the part where I am calling out Tommy Loren, people like Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, and all the other racists, including the coons who happen to have black skin, who are African American, who also don't understand the principle behind why Colin Kaepernick either takes a knee or sits down during the national anthem. I'm going to repeat what he says, why he says he is doing that, because this article proves why he is doing that. And I continue what the article says. It says, Tulsa police did not release the names and races of the officers involved. The officer who shot Crutcher was placed on paid leave. And this is what always happens when these race soldiers who are racist, 9 times out of 10, we found out that one officer who shot and killed an unarmed black man in the past, he happened to have ties to white supremacist groups. And, you know, I wouldn't doubt that many many of these so-called police officers, rather, these race soldiers, I wouldn't be surprised if they too have ties to white supremacists or hate groups. But I digress. I'm going to get back to this article. And I'm going to repeat this, though. Tulsa police did not release the names and races of the officers involved. The officer who shot Terence Crutcher, was placed on paid leave, which is routine in cases of police-involved shootings. And that's where the problem lies. You are rewarding these race soldiers who kill people. You are rewarding these rogue cops at times. You're rewarding them for killing black people. You are rewarding these race soldiers for killing other people of color. You are rewarding bad behavior, and that's a problem. Anyways, the county district attorney's office will determine if the shooting was justified, McKenzie said. Well, we always know how that goes. You guys police yourselves, and then all is good, and you brush it under a carpet, and another dead African person is gone from their family while you guys go business as usual. And you wonder why people are taking a knee or sitting during the national anthem. Good grief. Okay, anyways, quote, every situation is different. Officers are involved in typically fast-moving situations, and officers who choose to use force base those decisions on the situation involved that they are facing, McKenzie said. Well, that's a huge rope to give individuals that you guys issue a blue uniform and a badge and a gun to. That's a huge rope. Can I become a police officer and do that? Can I become a police officer and go out, put on my blue uniform and my badge, and go out and shoot white criminals who break the law? Can I do that? Can we do that? I digress. Anyways, online court records show that Terence Crutcher of Tulsa, with the same date of birth as the man who was killed, pleaded no contest in 1996 to carrying a concealed weapon and resisting an officer, and was given a 6-month suspended sentence. You see, folks, this is where they want to bring out a person's criminal record to justify a killing. It's this kind of rhetoric that we feel is race baiting material, is insignificant to the story. A person's background of what they've done in their past, as far as their criminal record is concerned, has no justification of what and why a so-called law enforcement officer shoots and kills someone. It has nothing to do with that. You're comparing apples to absolutely nothing. It's a joke, and it's deflection away from the problem. So I'm going to read it again. Online court records show, because they got to bring this out, Terence Crutcher of Tulsa, with the same date of birth as the man who was killed, pleaded no contest in 1996 to carrying a concealed weapon and resisting an officer, and was given a 6-month suspended sentence. And I know that he probably pleaded to that because this unjust, racist system piled on charges, trumped up charges, and had him plead to a lesser charge so that he at least had a record. Because that's how the racist system works. And then we have racist white people who come and have the nerve to lecture us about why are blacks involved with crime so much. And we get charged with all these types of crimes that are unwarranted and that get totally tossed out when it's a white person. And you ask, what is your privilege that you get? You guys are liars. But let me get back to this story. His only other court records were for traffic violations, the most recent occurring in 2005. Can you believe that? Here it is, 2016. This man hasn't been involved in any kind of trouble, and you guys have the nerve, the audacity to bring up his criminal record dating back to 1996, which is so trivial, and yet you have to publish that just to show what? Oh, how good you white people are. How good you are. And look, he has a criminal record. It's nothing to even sneeze at. Anyways, Tulsa has a troubled recent history of police relations with the African American community. Lo and behold, look at that. Do we find that surprising? And then this happens. Wow. In April, a white reserve Tulsa County Sheriff's deputy was convicted of manslaughter in the fatal shooting a year earlier of an unarmed black suspect who was on the ground being restrained by officers. The deputy said he thought he was shooting his stun gun when he shot the man with the handgun. Sounds like Oscar Grant. When Officer Meserly at the BART station in Fruitvale, California, said he thought that he was using his stun gun, he used the same lame excuse. Lame excuse. You racists are freaking pathetic. You're freaking pathetic. We have no love for you because you guys don't stand for what America is about. You don't know what democracy is. You don't know what freedom really means. You don't know what liberty means. You certainly have no idea what justice means or looks like. You wouldn't know what justice looks like if it freaking slapped you 4 or 5 times, hit you upside the head, ran you over. You wouldn't know it. If all of that happened to you, you still wouldn't know it. Pathetic. The shooting led to an investigation that resulted in misdemeanor charges against the county sheriff. Can you believe that? This county sheriff got only misdemeanor charges. Good grief, black folks, do you understand why we need unity? Do you understand what's happening here? Why are we fighting one another? Are you saying we can't stand for nothing to fight against this? And you won't want to until it happens to you personally. Okay, the shooting led to an investigation that resulted in misdemeanor charges against the county sheriff, who resigned and later pleaded no contest to a charge of refusal to perform official duty and pleaded guilty to willful violation of the law. Good grief, these folks. The reserve deputy program was briefly disbanded after an official report found it was riddled with corruption. Lo and behold, riddled with corruption, and reserves were poorly trained. Good grief. But a new police chief reinstated it earlier this year. You guys have some... Tulsa County, you guys, black folks, you guys have some issues there. I'm going to tell you, with your so-called law enforcement there, yeah, you guys have some racist race soldiers there who are not following the law, who are using every excuse in the world to get away with murder against African people, against black people, against people of color. It's a racist system. They're operating off of a racist system, and when they say things that this is a system in place, that's what we need to fight to change. We don't just say, oh, that's a system in place and let it be. This is what we fight against. This is when we sit down. This is when we sit down and say no more. So, an attorney for the family has demanded that the Tulsa Police Department immediately release any video footage of the shooting. Police said they believe a dash cam would have captured the confrontation. Terence Crutcher, 40, in the center of this picture, was the father to 4 children. He is the father that will be missing out of their lives. So, you racists, when these children grow up, and if you happen to run across them for whatever reason or hear about them, don't ask where is their father at. Because the racist police, this racist system, killed their father. And it's killed many other fathers too. So when you guys throw that racist question up to black people and you ask, well, where is the dad? You know, you sheriff clerks, you coon sheriff David Clarks, when you ask the question, where is the father? Just look in the mirror, Sheriff David Clark and friends. Look in the mirror and say, oh yeah, we killed their dad. That's where their dad is at. We killed them. So the family says, is all I want is for the police to be transparent in their investigation and provide the video we know does exist. Attorney Demarion Solomon Simmons told the news, quote, we want to know exactly what happened and go from there, unquote. Solomon Simmons is representing the family along with Melvin C. Hall and civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who has represented the families of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. And family, while I'm at this point, I just wanted to correct something I said earlier. I mentioned an example of a police officer who used the lame excuse of thinking they were using their stun gun when in fact they used their handgun and killed a black man. It was Officer Measurely, like I said, but I said it happened in Fruitvale, California. There's no such thing as Fruitvale, California. What I meant was Fruitvale BART station in Oakland, California. Just in case if you caught that, family, I digress, and I apologize for that mistake. I just wanted to make that correction. I do know the difference. So lastly, Solomon Simmons, the lawyer, called the killing, quote, an extremely sad and serious situation, as Terence was a beloved father, brother, son, and friend, unquote. According to a Guardian investigation into police-involved shootings in the U.S., Oklahoma cops kill people at a higher rate per capita than any other state. Did you hear that, black people? Family, did you hear that? I will say it one more time. According to a Guardian investigation into police-involved shootings in the United States, Oklahoma cops kill people at a higher rate per capita than any other state. There must be a lot of Klan members in Oklahoma. Family, thank you very much for your time in watching this vlog. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is Guru. Peace, love, and focused thinking is the only way we're going to get out of this. Peace out.